Hello everyone, this is the ETC460 workshop assignment explanation. So what are we doing? Well, you will design and develop a 25 to 30 minute workshop. If your group finishes under 25 minutes, that's a bad thing. And I will stop you at 30 minutes. So you need to get your timing. You need to practice with your group and get the timing spot on. So what are we doing? We're developing a workshop and delivering it on a computer application that teachers can use to develop digital tools and activities for use in classroom or interventions. Here's one of the key sentences. Participants of your workshop, your fellow students, should walk away with knowledge and practice using the technology, as well as some ideas for implementation into their classroom. That's one of the key sentences. Why are you doing this workshop? For this reason. They will also take a paper or digital handout with them. You'll demonstrate a set of skills for teachers to know, as well as suggest some ideas in educational settings. You'll prepare suitable practice activities for your colleagues to check for understanding. The specific sections of the workshop should be introduction, presentation, demonstration, and application. We'll go over a little more about the intro, presentation and demonstration, and application a little later. For now, I'll just talk about the assignment. Okay, so what sort of websites or apps could you use? Firstly, it could be a laptop web-based activity, and you could use websites. Or it could be a mobile app that you wish to use, and I would really encourage this for practice. So I've given you some suggested contents and some things that you might wish to include in that. Anyone heard of Explain Anything or EduCreations? This one is a great one. Essentially, you're doing the same thing, creating a screencast from your iPad. Have you ever tried to tell students a concept? Maybe it's mathematics or a science concept or something like this, and you do it over and over again. You could create an Explain Everything or EduCreations screencast, make a video, and give it to students so they could look at it anytime, anywhere. This is one idea you could do. Creative book builder. I know that early childhood you create a lot of books, or students create a lot of books to showcase their work, so these apps could be useful. We've already talked about Kahoot, so this is one that you could do. Socrative would be another one, which has a little more substance to it, but they're both quizzes. Powtoon, cartoons. Children love cartoons. This could be incorporated and used and leveraged. Anyone used Class Dojo before? Great. What do you do with it? It's a great classroom management tool, isn't it? Students want those points, and so they'll do things with it. Some students don't know it, so you could showcase that one. TinyTap, PictoChart, Padlet, Goosechase, Weebly, Glogster, or other. There's so many different websites and apps that you could choose from. Remember, choose the right tool for the right task. Maybe start with the task. What do you want to show your colleagues? What do you want students to do? Then find a website or app. So there's many that you and your group could choose. Okay. On to the rubric. How am I and your colleagues going to assess you? 50% of the mark is from your peers. So there's probably going to be around 5 or 6 peers watching and giving you marks. The average of that is worth 50%. and then myself, I'll be the other 50%. In the past, when I've done this with other courses, the instructor mark and the peers mark have been pretty close, plus or minus maybe 4 or 5%, which is very, very close for grading. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, you'll design a handout. This is something that it could be paper or digital, something that the teacher, your colleagues, could walk away with and know or remember what they did in the workshop. Students like to get really creative with this. Okay, you could just do an A4, but what if you folded it and made it a little booklet, or folded it this way and made it a little booklet or something like that. Some students have even like the logo of the website, cut out the logo and the booklet is in the shape of a logo. All different things. Okay, and you get some marks for that. Notice that the top range, 5. Okay, so you get a few marks, but not so much, okay? The introduction is worth 5, you know, welcoming participants, outlining what you're going to be doing, activating prior knowledge is important, that's over here, and part of our instructional design, which we'll talk about soon. So that's worth 5 as well. The 2 main things that you should focus time and energy on are the presentation and demonstration. Okay, in this you'll demonstrate some of the features, not all, just some. You don't have 2 hours, you only have 30 minutes. You'll show some of the skills that you'll need and that teachers will need, and talk about some practical classroom use. Why are you showing this skill? What's the purpose of it? 15. So there's a lot of marks assigned to this. The application is the second part. That's again worth 15. The 15 is on the next page. You need to certainly get the participants to practice. Start using it in that session. Research shows that if you tell someone how to do it, they may remember. If they do it themselves, this increases the chance of retention. So application is an important one. And not just application in one example. Applying it that's meaningful for each of the participants. That's important as well. If we can integrate it into the real world, this will help them remember and help them maybe use the tool themselves. So those are the 2 sections that you're going to spend most time of the workshop and energy in designing preparation for the workshop. There's a little bit of teamwork that's involved in this. Present a well-rehearsed workshop. If you're standing up here saying, you don't know how to use the technology, or each member has a significant role. One member might just sit on the side and have 5 minutes. Is that a significant role? We'll see what your colleagues in the peer marking and myself think of that. You don't have to do equal time, but each member has to play a significant role. Presentation style is worth 5 as well. We want you to be engaging. We want your voice to be projected. We want eye contact at a appropriate pace and sequence, these sorts of things. It's worth 5 marks. So of the total, peer 50%, me 50%, 100% of your workshop. At this point, I'll stop and ask for any questions. Hi. Okay, yeah, I'll take it, sure. So a question has come in. The goals of the project. I'll scroll up to the top of the page. So you're designing a workshop. You're going to feature, for example, everyone knows Kahoot, right? So let's say none of your participants know Kahoot. So you're going to show them. You're going to work with them so that they know what it is. They're going to use it and maybe even create their own Kahoot in the workshop. Okay? So this is one of the key sentences here. Participants of your workshop should walk away with knowledge and practice using the technology, using Kahoot, and some ideas for implementation into their classroom. How could you use Kahoot? Discussion, ideas, generate some and share some. This is really the goals of the workshop.
You say practice using the technology, so we encourage the students to log in while we presenting?
Yes, we'll go through some examples, and I've already gone through one last week. But yes, you should either provide login details for all participants, or maybe groups of participants, hint, hint. Or students sign up, so participants sign up, log in, and work with you while you demonstrate and create accounts. You could do it a number of different ways, and we'll talk further and do more practice of this. But yes, they should be doing it. This is an active learning for the workshop participants.
So we will encourage students to do what we explain.
Yes, yes. Any other questions? Okay. We'll be in groups of 3, and there'll be 2 groups of 4. We've got 20 students.